and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you another technique of painting, and it is a very simple way to add some weathering effects to this car. So let's just imagine that this car was painted in paint of some sort. Now you just want to add some chipping and little rust spots here and there. So first of all, you need to rub the glossy finish a little bit, and it will give the surface this matte finish. Another option is to paint the car in matte finish in the first place. So I'm just showing you a technique of adding rust on a already painted car. I'm using a very fine grit sandpaper. And if you're going to do the same and use gloss color and then turn it into matte finish, consider painting extra coat of paint just to be sure not to damage the paint and go through the body and reveal the metal, because it will be very frustrating to paint the car again and wait until it will get dry, because then it will cost you an extra time. On this particular car, I'm trying not to damage the decals. Therefore, I'm not really rubbing the complete surface. I'm taking in consider that I will coat the car in some matte finish after I'll finish detailing it, so it doesn't really matter on this case. Whenever I'm adding details, I like to use acrylic and water-based colors instead of others, because you can take them off if you have a mistake with only water and you will not damage the paint itself. Here I have this water-based brown color. It is in satin finish, and I'm using it in order to add some paint chips and also tiny rust spots. Another colors I have is this orange and red. So just to give the car a realistic appearance, I'm going to detail the headlights, and I'm starting with this black outline just to make the headlights pop a little bit, and that is because the car is in white and I'm going to paint the headlights in white also. So adding this black outline will help to pop them out. While the brush is filled with black color, I will use it on other areas that need to be painted in black, and that is the roof rack, which is going to be detailed as well. While painting this car, I wondered why Mattel didn't take extra time and designed a better looking roof rack. If you compare this Hot Wheels car to another Matchbox car, you can see that on each and every Matchbox car you can find roof racks with nice details like gas tanks and other tools that you may use while venturing the wilderness. Since by the end of this tiny project I will give this car as a gift to my son, I've decided that I will take my time and add these extra stuff on the roof, like a gas tank and maybe a toolbox. Now you can take your brush and mix some paint with some water, and you can use your brush in order to highlight these gaps of the doors and also the engine's hood. It will give the car a more realistic appearance. At this point, if you have any mistakes with painting your roof rack or other stuff, you can use a toothpick in order to take off the paint while it is not completely cured. Now back to our headlights. I'm using white acrylic paint and I'm painting the headlights themselves. Here's a nice technique of detailing a grille for your car. You can use a mix of water and black paint and insert the color inside the vents. After you finish painting the grille, you can take the excessive paint out by using your clean brush. If you have the same car that you're going to detail with a winch up front, I recommend you to take off the base if you wish to detail this grille properly and easily. For the indicators, I'm going to use a nail polish paint, but you should be aware that it is harder to take it off if you have a mistake, since it is not a water-based color, of course. Now I'm going to add tiny rust spots or paint chips, and I'm using a very special brush that you can find on any art shop. I'm gently adding tiny bit of brown color here and there, and it is random, but I'm trying to show them where they supposed to be, and they are mainly happen while you're driving and scratching your car with rocks or branches. So I'm trying to show them where they naturally will appear. Also, you can add them on the hood and also on the fenders. Now I'm going to use water-based colors in order to highlight the door gaps, and using water mixed with some color helps the paint to run inside the channels of each gap. For the fog lights at the roof rack, I'm going to use this transparent glass color. It is kind of a yellowish orange color. I want to add some mud effect on the tires, and I'm mixing a little bit of white and brown color, and now I'm just going to paint the wheels in this kind of mud effect. I'm going to paint the windshield with some dust effect. I'm using again my brown water-based colors, and I'm trying to give the dust the shape of the wiper's path, and I think it is okay, but I have to make some corrections. I'm using mustard color dipped with some water, and I'm trying to show this car with some dust here and there. Now this is very important thing to do right after finishing detailing your car with water-based colors, and that is of course adding the protection coat of a matte clear coat. So take your time and do this because you don't want to lose any of your details. For the headlights and indicators, I'm using glossy clear coat, of course. As I promised, I'm going to add toolbox on the roof rack and also a gas tank. Just to give this extra off-road vibe, I've added this tow hook at the back and also spare tire covered with this net. Took me about 15 minutes to carve this tiny gas tank out of wood, and you can see it is very small. Here it is at the roof rack, and I think this car is almost done. Now let me show you this car in its natural environment. You can see I've added this boat at the back, and it is nice looking Jeep. Here's another angle and you can see all the tiny rust spots I've added, and the matte finish is nicely done. Here's the car again, but without the boat at the back, just to show you the car itself. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and give this car to my son. I didn't take him outside with me to photo shoot this car because it was a very hot day today. So I'm going back now, and I'm very sure that he will be very joyful to play with this car because it looks very good. And for you, I would like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you soon on my next project. Bye bye.